Hey, what is up everyone? It is Flynn Patrick, and in this video we are super duper excited to release Basketball Infinite's 4th 2018 NBA mock draft. We're going to go over all 30 picks in the first round, and we're going to get right down to it. We also have a Blockbuster Trade that will be occurring. I am super excited to announce what is going on with this Blockbuster Trade. So let's just get right to it. The number one pick in the 2018 NBA draft is going to be DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton, half Mr. T, half Thor hybrid, and good golly gee willikers. What do you know? A blockbuster trade has occurred. My Memphis Grizzlies have traded for the number 2 pick. And what do you know? Holy macaroni, good golly gee willikers, Marc Gasol is going to the Sacramento Kings. In this trade we have Marc Gasol, Ben McLemore, and the number 4 pick going to Sacramento for former Memphis Grizzlies Zach Randolph, Iman Shumpert, Willie Cauley-Stein, and the number 2 pick. Holy macaroni, this changes the direction of both of these franchises. Marc Gasol will be a much more happy camper in Sacramento under his former coach Dave Yeager. He also gets to team up with the young Dragon Ball Z man De'Aaron Fox. You got Zach Randolph going to his former team in the Memphis Grizzlies. And you also get Willie Cauley-Stein, a pretty talented player who is the only Sacramento King to crack our #Infinite Rank Top 120 NBA players. He goes to Memphis as well. He's not the greatest fit in Sacramento, but I think he could do well in Memphis replacing Marc Gasol. Anyways, let's get right back to the draft. With the number 2 pick in the 2018 NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Michael Porter Jr. of the Missouri Tigers, and RKO out of nowhere. Flynn Patrick is a very disgruntled Memphis Grizzlies fan, but rumor has it that Memphis is very infatuated with Michael Porter Jr. I think a healthy Michael Porter Jr. is a 3 inches taller Tobias Harris, and the word is that he is back to 100% health. He looks great in workouts, and if this is the case, you know what? I'm not too mad about it. Michael Porter Jr. is a very talented player indeed. Michael Porter Jr. is a franchise-changing player, if healthy. And as long as he's healthy, nothing to worry about. Michael Porter Jr., welcome to the Memphis Grizzlies. With the 3rd pick in the 2018 NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Trae Young, an absolute stud muffin, just making it purple rain from the 3-point line in Norman. I think it's going to take a couple of years for this young man, but I believe once he gets into his mid-20s, this is going to be a very dangerous player. He has the right mindset. With the number 4 pick in the NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Marvin Bagley III. You know what? I have him number 2 on my big board. Sacramento just got Marc Gasol. You got De'Aaron Fox, the Dragon Ball Z man, and now you have Marvin Bagley III, who I still think has the potential to be the best player in the NBA draft. And I know they have Scalabisi here, but in this situation, they got Marc Gasol, who's an absolute stud muffin, and now you team him with Marvin Bagley. That is a nice front court going forward. And what do you know, at number 5, Luka Doncic has fallen all the way to the Dallas Mavericks in this scenario. Luka Doncic, the strawberry salad out of Slovenia, but you team him with Dennis Smith Jr. going forward. He can learn from a year under the great European legend Dirk Nowitzki. Luka Doncic would be a happy camper in Dallas, and I am sure Mark Cuban would be pleased as well. And in this scenario, with the number 6 pick, Mr. 7'10" wingspan Mohamed Bamba falls all the way to the Orlando Magic, but holy macaroni, Jonathan Isaac, Aaron Gordon, Mohamed Bamba. Good golly gee willikers, oh me oh my, there is length reigning all over the Amway Center. But I'm absolutely sure the Orlando Magic would be pleased to have Mohamed Bamba as the center of their future, and I think he would be a great fit in Orlando. With the number 7 pick, the Chicago Bulls select Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr., I do believe in the right situation, could become a top 3 player in this draft. And with the number 8 pick, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Collin Sexton. Who knows what LeBron James is doing, but either way, you get the point guard of their future, and I think Collin Sexton would be a good fit for the Dan Gilbert Cleveland Cavaliers. With the number 9 pick, the New York Knicks select Mikal Bridges. We received good feedback from our last mock draft on this pick, and we are going to keep it. I think that there are some higher ceiling players you could pick here, but that being said, I think New York needs a guy with a winning mentality who can help them win now, because this franchise absolutely needs some excitement, and I think Mikal Bridges can give them what they need. And with the number 10 pick, I am keeping Zaire Smith to the Philadelphia 76ers. I believe Zaire Smith can be the next Donovan Mitchell, and I think in Philadelphia he would be an excellent fit next to Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz and Joel Embiid and all those other young players with winning mentalities. And with the number 11 pick, the Charlotte Hornets select Wendell Carter Jr. out of Duke, keeps him in North Carolina, and he is a very talented player. And with the 12th and 13th picks, the LA Clippers select Troy Brown Jr. and Kevin Knox. I've had both of these players going to the Clippers in previous mock drafts, but I haven't had them both going to the Clippers. I think that Troy Brown Jr. is underrated, and I think Kevin Knox would be a good fit next to Tobias Harris. With the number 14 pick, the Denver Nuggets select Miles Bridges out of Michigan State. We had him falling to number 19 in our last mock draft, but just with what has happened in the draft so far, this time he moves back up into the lottery, going to Denver. And looking at their situation, I think that he is a high basketball IQ player who would fit well next to Gary Harris and Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic going forward. And with the number 15 pick, the Washington Wizards select Dante DiVincenzo out of Villanova. This keeps him near Villanova, but you get him as a backup for Bradley Beal, and you add some depth to that Washington Wizards bench, and I think Wizards fans would be very pleased here. Alright, so after our top 15, we're just going to go over the rest of these picks in the first round really quickly. Robert Williams to the Suns, Gary Trent Jr. to the Milwaukee Bucks, Chandler Hutchison to the Spurs, who they could be trading Kawhi this offseason, so what do you know? 7 years later, they're drafting another wing out of the Mountain West. Who knows, Chandler Hutchison could become the next Kawhi Leonard. Kevin Huerter to the Atlanta Hawks, another solid 3-point threat next to Trae Young. And then finally, we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going to the Minnesota Timberwolves to back up Jeff Teague. Alright, let's get to picks 21 through 25. We have the Utah Jazz taking Mitchell Robinson, who has a lot of potential as a backup center for Rudy Gobert. We have the Chicago Bulls taking Jevon Carter. In all of my years of being a draft fan, I have never seen a defensive point guard prospect like Jevon Carter. We have the Indiana Pacers taking Aaron Holiday. We have the Portland Trail Blazers taking Dejan Musa, who would be a nice sharpshooter off the bench for them. And finally, we have the Los Angeles Lakers taking Trayvon Duval, this time to back up Lonzo Ball. Alright, let's get to our final 5 picks of the first round. This is an interesting one. The Philadelphia 76ers have 2 first-round picks, and this time we are going to give them Isaac Bonga. I think Isaac Bonga is one of the most intriguing players in this draft. He is the youngest draft prospect. He is 6'10" with court vision and nice athleticism. I think he needs a year or two, but man, this guy has serious potential, and the Philadelphia 76ers have a chance to make a potential pick here. We have the Boston Celtics taking Lonnie Walker. Danny Ainge is clearly not afraid to take the best player available, and I have Lonnie Walker as the best player available here. We have the Golden State Warriors taking Landry Shamet out of Wichita State. And in all of our 4 mock drafts, this is the first time Landry Shamet has cracked the first round. I think in this situation, you get a nice shooter for Golden State off the bench. With the 29th pick, we have the Brooklyn Nets taking Omari Spellman out of Villanova, who sneaks in the first round. and Brooklyn just needs all the help they can get, and Omari Spellman is a nice high basketball IQ player with a lot of potential. And finally, we have Goga Bitadze going to the Atlanta Hawks with the last pick in the first round. He is a very talented young player who I think is better than Jusuf Nurkic was at the same age. Thank you all so much for joining us on this very special edition of Basketball Infinite. We are going to be amping up our draft coverage over the next 10 days because the draft is coming up next Thursday. We are super duper excited. We're going to be releasing a lot of draft videos over the next 10 days. My name is Flynn Patrick. We will be back with more content shortly.